Alright, well. Let's begin. Alright, Runes of Elder League. Alright, content update 0.5.0, Path of Exile 2, Return of the Ancients. The Return of the Ancient expansion contains a new league. An overhaul to Path of Exile 2's endgame with 6 new endgame storylines and 2 new Ascendancy classes with a huge amount of other content. For more information about this expansion, check out Path of Exile 2/Ancients. They even have all of these features. Real quick though, I've got glasses. Probably a good idea to wear those. So, our biggest expansion ever. The Runes of Elder League. Start a fresh new economy with the Runes of Elder League. In each area in the Runes of Elder League, you will find a remnant which allows you to craft an item by using runic recipes engraved on the slots of the remnant. Depending on the rune shapes used, you will then face encounter with tough enemies that will need to defeat and claim your item. We saw this in the trailer. Let me open up Notepad too. 0.5 Passionate Summary. Okay, now we can have something to look at when we look at stuff. Okay. Each rune shape will increase the number of waves of enemies, so you can have like up to 8 waves of enemies. And additional runic modifiers. And we'll write down anything that's new. We're going to start with any number of slots between 2 and 10. Oh. With higher numbers being much rarer, but allowing you to craft much rarer items. Runes of Elder. Up to 10 slots. Okay. Monsters Mason Run can drop Verusium Metal, a new currency, add a new NPC fair with 4 new quests in the campaign, allowing you to unlock various new crafting features. Verusium Reforging crafting system. After unlocking Verusium Rune Forging in Act 1, the system allows you to add runic ward to your armors. By spending Verusium, armors lower than level 55 can reward with no downside. Armor above this level trade some of their regular base defenses for runic ward. Added a new defense, runic ward. This defense kicks on once you reach 1 life, allowing you to continue to survive while your runic ward takes damage. Runic ward regenerates independently of your life. Add 13 new alloy currency items which can be unlocked through run encounters after completing various quests in Act 2. These items add various crafting modifiers to items by replacing an existing modifier, similar to perfect essences. Interesting. After unlocking unique Verusium Reforging in Act 3, you can upgrade the base. So Act 3 is unique Verusium. Okay, so Act 1, Verusium Reforging. No, I didn't type 1. Act 3. Unique Verusium. Is it spelled Verusium? Yeah, okay. Additional properties and use on Calgaran uniques, sure. Added 13 ancient runes that can be unlocked to be crafted by remnant encounters after completing various quests in Act 4. These runes have powerful bonuses specific to each weapon type. Ancient runes in Act 4, question mark. 13 mythical early game runes which can be used on remnant encounters by level 15 plus characters. 3 fluxes, which can be crafted from remnants to form resistances on your items from one element to another. Ooh! Fluxes. Harvest. Bench. Craft. Res. Swap. Hype. Exclamation mark. 15 meta crafting runes that can be crafted from remnants. And meta crafting runes, I guess. 60 plus runes have been created by destroying a unique to make a rune that gains some of its properties. So that's the CPOC set bonus thing. Why are there 60 of them? Oh, because each rune gets... Okay, yeah. 15 plus runic ward runes can be crafted from remnants, adding or modifying properties related to runic ward. Okay, sure. 21 Calgaran skills can be crafted from remnants, Animus Exchange, Animus Splinters. Let's see what these say. Calgaran. Bitter Dead, Conductive Runes, Detonate Living. Interesting, Eternal March. These are skills, not skill support. Skills Transmutation, Fragments of the Past, Frostflame Nova, Grim Pillars, Hollow Shell, Ley Lines. Are these skills or supports? Oh no, these are supports. Remnants of Calgar, Propulsion Runic Reprieve, Skyfall, Triskelion Cascade, Rusium Manifestations will take Barrier. We'll find out what those do later. Concussive Runes, Fists of Calgar. I wonder if that's like Fists of War. Healing Runes. Calgar and Conviction, Rune Forge Blades, Rune Extraction, Rune Confusion, Scarring Flame. Bunch of Calgaran skills and supports we don't know shit about. Okay. Accession Remnants have changed into remnants from the runes of the Elder League. Oh, okay. So that's clarification. New in-game story. So next edition of Pharaoh to explore the ocean as you investigate the tombs of fallen Calgarans and challenge them to earn remarkable awards. Seek out the creator of a fallen star, a meteor of pure Ferusium, and from which you hope to forge objects of immense power if you can defeat what awaits you there. There is now a new hub area, the Ruins of King's March, for the Ruins of Aldor in the southeast, and a starting location on the Atlas. The logbook mechanic has been changed into an ocean exploring mechanic. Using logbooks now unveils a section of the ocean with a variety of islands to explore. Many new underground areas have been added that can uncover during expeditions. Many new islands have been added that with new grand expeditions previously known as logbooks. Okay. Medved, Verana, and Uhtred join Olroth as the 4 faction leaders available to fight on new islands you can discover in the ocean. Cool, cool, cool. We knew basically all of this. Defeating Olroth give you a key that can use access to the new Pinnacle boss, the Runes of Aldor. Knew that. The new Runes of Aldor Challenge League includes the first set of challenges Path to Exile 2. Each earn a piece of Knight of the Aldor armor set, including 2, 4, 6, and 8 challenges in the Runes of Aldor. These challenges reward are the only obtainable in this league. FOMO! Yay! From the first challenge onwards, for every challenge after that, you will receive a piece of the Runes of Aldor and totem decoration to display in your hideout. The totem pole permanently showcases how many Runes of Aldor challenges you've completed during the league. All of your old characters in the early access launch are still present, but a free pass tree refund has been granted due to the changes. We highly encourage you to join the new leagues to take advantage of fully taking the changes we made with the 0.5.0 update. With 0.5.0, there are standard, hardcore, slow self-found variations of the Runes of Aldor Challenge League available. Yep, we know that. Same for mechanics and items, blah blah blah, private leagues, hardcore variations are parented. There's standard Runes of Aldor equivalent, meaning if you die in hardcore runes, you go to standard runes. Fair enough. The Atlas now has fixed point. Okay, in-game. The Atlas now has fixed points of interest at specific locations, giving distinct objectives that are easy to find. All League mechanics on the Atlas now have quests that introduce mechanic, guide you through its various stages on the Pinnacle boss. All Pinnacle bosses now have quest versions that can be accessed deterministically, alongside repeatable non-quest versions that offer greater challenge. Added 30 new in-game map areas. Nice. You knew all of that. Origins of Divinity. The in-game overhaul. New in-game storyline. The Cataclysm of the Beast has invoked an ancient protocol designed to scour for and purge corruption should ever take hold to this degree. Reverse the Atlas to... Nearly bit my tongue, that's not related to the patch notes. Reverse the Atlas to enter the fortress and activate the gates. Obtain the keys to reach the ancient precursor weapons and disarm them. On completion of your first tower, a fortress will rise from the earth. Yeah, we know that. Maps inside the fortress grant onwards... or passive points for the Atlas Tree. This entirely replaces the previous method. Yep. Atlas Tree is significantly advanced with over 300 nodes. After completing all the maps inside the fortress, you will gain enough passive points to fully allocate the Atlas Tree. As the entire Atlas Tree can be fully allocated, there is no need to allow respecialization for it anymore. Multi-choice nodes on the tree can be changed between options at any time. Many maps in the fortress have ancient modifiers that add or modify the contents of the map. Any maps with modifiers that add secondary content to the map will implicitly add that content to the map as well. Okay, sure. Add 40 plus ancient modifiers to have the chance to appear in any map outside the fortress. Oh, that's good. Okay. Ancient modifiers have a chance to appear on any map outside the fort. In game. Okay, that's important to know. Added 3 gateway maps with 2 new bosses that can be used to access different sections of the fortress. And I bet Arbiter is the first one. Added new precursor tower maps that have been added outside the fortress. Burning Monolith along with the Arbor Dash has been moved into the fortress. Never mind. The quest version of the Crisis Fragments was added to the 2 Enigma chambers inside the fortress. Added 2 new Citadel maps with 2 new bosses that drop keys to the new Pinnacle boss. Okay. Added Arbor Divinity Pinnacle boss. Hey, Julie Ribby. We are reading patch notes. Maps in the fortress can be alternately completed by killing the Arbor Divinity 5 times. Complete different sections of the fortress automatically in order to gain. Interesting. We knew about that, so... Kill... What's a good name for this? RB is 5 times to complete sections. Question mark? Did we win? I don't know. We'll find out. I'm late to the passionate reading, but here we are. So far, so good. There is one win, and that is that there's a res swap crafting option in the Runes of Alder League. So that's I've read that at least. All right, Masters of the Atlas. Alongside the Atlas tree, a new system called Masters Atlas introduces a Sensi cell progression. Blah blah. We knew this. Well, we just started. The only thing I read so far is the Runes of Elder League, the Endgame, and the Origins of Divinity. So, Jado, who's an interlude boss, Monster Hunter Hilda, interlude, or not boss, but NPC, same with Hilda. Different masters such as Jado and Order of the Jinn or Monster Hunter Hilda, each offering unique asymmetric bonuses that can be swapped between maps at will, enabling build-defining bonuses. I don't know why I said that so dramatically. Each master has 12 nodes, of which 4 can be selected at the same time. You can change your selection anytime. Yeah, we saw that in preview. All 3 masters can be allocated at the same time with a quick select button to change each master before you run a map. Yes, this is like Shaper Elder influence from, Exarch, Eater, Maven influence in PoE 1. Unlock each row of 3 nodes by performing missions for the masters. New Atlas Master Durani's Science quest line. It is unlocked by clearing a corruption nexus. Oh, okay, so that makes sense. Hills is unlocked by visiting Hills campsite slightly southwest of your starting location of the Atlas. Okay. And anomaly map near the starting location. Interesting. Due to Spycraft quest line. So I'm not sure what the differences for these will be, but we'll see. Masters. Doriani Corruption Nexus. Okay, yeah, so that's where that piece of content went. Delirium, new storyline. An ancient trick Scott has been unleashed, spreading madness across Rayclass. Dare you uncover the new his origins Darkest Fear? See Delirium for more details. Yeah, we know about that. There is now a hub area, the Withered Willow, for the Delirium southwest of your starting. Oh yeah, I should mark the actual locations of these at some point, but I don't care. Probably should have noted the directions. Okay, southwest contains Delirium, so we'll give you points for Delirium Atlas Tree. Delirium Atlas Pass Tree is completely revamped with many new nodes and existing nodes change. After breaking a Delirium mirror, there's now a progress bar showing how deep you are in the fog and how long you have until the fog clears, which I really would like to see this in PvE1. The start of the Delirium bar represents your initial location in the Delirium mirror. The end of the Delirium bar represents the location of the map boss. Yep, fair enough. There are now a set of delirium encounters that can be seen on the delirium bar. Reaching certain depths will cause the colored mirror shards to appear. Walking the mirror shards will break them, activating the new encounters. Yep, this is PoE 2. More like PoE 2 out of 2, because it's actually kind of cool. We'll see. Direction of the map boss can be observed by looking at the... Yeah, got him. Direction of the map boss can be observed by looking at the fog effect. Moving in the direction of the fog will always lead you to the map boss. So hey, Swamp Monster, good to see you. Map boss in Delirium will always be 100% delirious, and that's a lot of tankiness. Alright, so Deli, 100% Deli bosses. Maybe I'll show my notepad after this. The damage and life bonus given the monster in Delirium has been reduced. Oh. Okay, I was immediately worried. But reduced damage, life bonus, question mark. 5 new elite delirium monsters, new sub-area of the Loathsome Mire. Oh no, say Mire to scare a PoE 2 player. 1% is like 40% DR? 1% is 95% DR on PoE 1. PoE 1 at least. I don't know what PoE 2 DR is, but PoE 1 it's like a 95% DR at 100% deli. It's like super duper high. At least it was. I'm not sure if that... at least that's when like layers of delirium are on a map. I'm like pretty sure. Hang on. Let me double check that. I could have sworn it was a ridiculously high number for super high delirium. Layers of delirium. What is delirium? Alright, hang on. We're looking at this. Alright, yeah, here we go. It varies between rarities. Yeah, so increased less damage taken on uniques is 80%, rares is 90, magic is 96, and 96 for normal. So so the lower the rarity, the more damage reduction they get. And the more damage they do. So they're reducing that, I guess. We'll see how that actually works out. Alright, anyways, back to this. So hopefully that's nerfed a fair bit. If bosses are 100% delirious, that's 80% DR. Damage life bonus reduced, added. Alright, so Loathsome Mire. Say Mire to scare PvE with 2-player. Loathsome Mire, and that was the Infinite Hunger's swamp area we saw in the trailer. Loathsome Mire drops 2 new amulet base types granted on still notables at the cost of either -1 suffix or -1 prefix. Oh, okay. So kind of like the simplex or the heist amulets, except instead of explicit effect, it's 2 annoyance essentially. Interesting item. Liquid emotions can now be used to craft additional mods on jewels. These work similarly to greater essences, each having a set of specific mods that will replace a random existing mod on the item. Curious. More emotion drain. No pun intended. But yeah, more sync for these, which these were already pretty pricey, so that's gonna be interesting to farm. We'll see how that goes. So new amulet -1 affix for 2 anoints. Emotions craft on jewels now. We knew that already, I think. Alright, I'll be reading. Completing Delirium Mirrors now has a chance to spawn Grand Mirrors in the Atlas on a nearby map. Grand Mirrors create a duplicate of the map boss on the affected map. Killing both map bosses will unlock a new Atlas mechanic, the Trial of Madness. After triggering the Trial of Madness, fog will spread from a map if you're choosing on the Atlas, including a locked simulacrum. While inside the fog, the entire map is delirious, starting at 10%. Killing rare monsters in the map boss increases the deliriousness of all maps in the fog. On reaching 100%, the simulacrum will become available. Deliriousness can continue to increase up to 200% delirious? What the hell? 200% Deli. So that's why they're reducing the damage life bonus of Delirious to begin with. Very unique monsters in Delirious maps have a set of new Delirious modifiers giving them strange new abilities. Okay. Oh, this is actually a good thing though. If they reduce the Delirium damage and life bonuses or whatever, that means that 100% Delirious is going to be much easier if it makes Simulacrum at 100% Deli easier? Simulacrum has been updated and is now a 7-wave encounter. What was it before? Is it 15? Is it still 15 in PoE 2? Or like 10 or whatever? Map bosses of Delirious maps can additionally drop with... Oh yeah, 3 potent emotions can be used to craft new powerful modifiers. Jewels are not available in normal jewel mod, but I think we can do this. These emotions can be used to instill a set of 60 new passive tree notables that are not normally... Okay, so yeah, these are prismatic oils from PoE1. Completing a Simulacrum will give you a key to face the new Delirium Pinnacle boss. There is a set of 10 ancient emotions that can drop if unlocked by the Atlas tree, which will be used to craft Time Lost Jewels. Ooh. There are also 3 ancient potent emotions, Time Lost Jewels. Oh wow, okay. Time Lost Emotion Crafting. Okay. Some non-amulet Delirium uniques can now drop the Raven Touch modifier that allows them to be instilled. Oh, just like Blight, Anoint stuff. Nifty. Alright, Breach. New Breach storyline. Travel to the Monastery of the Keepers, Hollow Halls, the Keeper of the Flame, and discover the Genesis Tree, stolen from the enemy and gifted to the Keepers by the Dreamer himself. For more information, see website. They're a new hub area. There's a new hub area. A new hub area of the Monastery of the Keepers. There's a new hub area of the Monastery of the Keepers to the south of your starting location on the Atlas. The maps around this location all contain breach encounters. Completing these maps gives you points for the Breach Atlas Tree. Breach Atlas Tree has been completely revamped with many new nodes and existing nodes change. Starting a breach now shows progress bar. Yeah, we've seen. So, yeah, this is Breach from PoE1. Reaching 100%. New mechanics, stabilized breach. Challenges at the starting point. A new boss, stabilized breach for Run, Marshal Azesh. Add a new crafting system. Genesis Tree. Genesis Tree consumes womb gifts and high blood to create rings, amulets, belts, and currency. Okay, so that's important to note. Genesis Tree for rings, ammies, belts, currency. Nodes in the Genesis Tree can be allocated to affect what items will be crafted. New nodes unlocked by using womb gifts. 6 new ring base types, 4 new amulet base types, 4 new belt base types, all exclusively crafted from the Genesis Tree. Add a new set of caster minion mods you can craft onto rings and belts using Genesis Tree. If this isn't flat damage, it's going to be kind of worthless in my opinion, because like the main problem with like caster scaling, to me at least, is like you have to rely on gem levels because that's the only source of flat damage outside of like the occasional niche mana stacker stuff. So yeah, if they don't have flat damage on these, that's pointless, in my humble opinion. Catalysts can no longer drop from monsters, these are now solely obtained from the Genesis Tree. Oh, interesting. Catalyst, Genesis Tree only. Added 12 new catalysts that can add new quality modifiers. Jewels, ooh. Killing a monster in a breach now drops high blood wound ghosts and breachstone splinters. Breachstone splinters turn to a special wound gift when fully stacked. They can turn to the Genesis Tree to create a breachstone. New breachstone, so instead of just like having the breach hive brain gland, you have to put in the Genesis Tree because you gotta have extra steps, because PoE 2. New breach domains now spawn the Atlas. Using a breachstone will reveal the maps inside the domain for you to enter them. Maps inside the breach domain contain new encounter breach hives, sky hives, and sky fortresses. Oh, 3 of them. Breach hives have a series of walls that can be burned by walking through them. Each wall destroyed will increase the number of monsters in the encounter, which can be started in the center. So that's just the wave defense from PoE1. Sky Hives, new area in which the breach doors construct a fortress you need to sail. Sky Hives contain a challenging multi-wave encounter in which you need to defend Aelithal as she closes domain. Fail to grant a series of abilities that can trigger to counter various effects. So that's the high fortresses from PV1. Fortresses are a new area with a pair of bosses, Toll and Edge. Defeating Toll and Edge will give you a key to access the existing Breach Pinnacle boss. So yeah, it's just Breach from PV1 for the most part in this segment here. Ritual. Now this got a revamp. I misspelled Ritual in my notes. New storyline. Aof, which is the druid's wife, lingers as a restless spirit bound to... I don't know how you pronounce that, but sorry. Bound to the wildwood and searching for one who might answer her call. The King of the Mist has claimed her flesh, leaving her soul adrift, untethered and unable to pass beyond. She believes that only by reclaiming what was taken she can be made whole once more. Find out more at website. There is a new hub area, Kiar Tarth. I will pronounce these horribly apparently. The west of your starting location on the atlas. The maps in this location all contain ritual encounters. Completing these maps gives you points for the ritual atlas tree. Completely revamped. After completing a ritual altar in a map, locusts will point the way to the next altar. Yeah, that's nice. That's the QL we know about. All items in the endgame ritual reward stream now are either uniques or omens. Which is really nice, we saw that. Any tribute not spent on rewards can be sacrificed to gain audience with the king. Killing the King of the Mist now drops a new key, the Head of the King. This key can be used in Kiar Tarth to begin the Rite of the Nameless. Rite of the Nameless is a new Atlas mechanic in which you can choose a series of 5 maps complete in a single continuous ritual. Oh boy. The monsters from each ritual, including the map boss, will reappear on each map in this sequence, making for a very challenging encounter. Unique bosses from each map will only appear in the final ritual of each map. Oh, that's good. Unique bosses from each map will only appear in the final ritual. Map. Okay, unique bosses only in final ritual of each map. Each map in the Rite of the Nameless awards one element of the key to use to access the ritual pinnacle boss. How many elements do you need? A new boss, the Queen in the Mist, available after allocating a specific node in its passage tree. This boss can drop 3 new corrupted idols. Corrupted idols? What are those? That's like socketables, right? Wraithorn rituals now prevented from ever showing deferred items to ensure items are now prevented from ever showing deferred items to ensure items are not lost during this area on a higher level character. Okay, that makes sense. Can't defer in Wraithorn. Fair enough. So is the new boss the Queen in the Mist? What's the regular boss then? I thought they had a new boss. I guess this is it. Okay, whatever. Okay. Fate of the Vol. New bosses, Queen in the Mist? Fate of the Vol. Fate of the Vol has been added to the core game. You'll first encounter a series of 6 ancient beacons in Act 3. Energize them to obtain energizing crystals up in Port of Val Ruins. You'll encounter a second set of 6 in the interludes. There is now an Atlas past tree of the Fate of Vol League mechanic, sure. And Ceres Temple can now be found in the Atlas in the northeast of your starting location in the city of Lyraval. Maps inside the city of Lyraval have always energized crystals and grant points for the Fate of Vol Atlas tree. There are also new Templar precursor tablets. Oh no, Temple precursor tablets will grant guaranteed fall beacons. Fair enough. It is no longer possible to prevent a room being deleted from the temple. Rooms that must be deleted but have other connections will be turned into simple path rooms. This prevents the snake strategy. Yeah, fair enough. Snake strategy dead. The number of rooms in the temple when first starting has increased to allow getting to its area more quickly. Rooms can now be upgraded to Tier 4, so that's the new info. Get to this area more quickly. Rooms can now be upgraded to Tier 4 after unlocking this ability in the Temple Atlas tree. This allows more specialization. Yep, we knew about that. Reward rooms granted from the console after feeding the Architect have been significantly improved, with more varieties to unlock condition upgrading the rewards of existing ones. Restricted rooms in Ceres Temple that are accessible will always destabilize upon exiting the temple. Okay, so if you have to actually do them, you can't just leave them and come back later. Atziri's temple medallions now have the drop rate scale with the number of paths in the temple in addition to other rooms, previously only other rooms. Interesting. So I guess medallions scale up just by having rooms there. I actually don't know the mechanic enough to know that. Room-based medallions can no longer be used inside of an active temple. Makes sense. Room-based medallions can now display upgrade information when hovered. Oh, that's actually really nice too. Medallions now output descriptive error messages when they cannot be placed. That's also really good. The default maximum number of Endrite crystals you can store is increased to 60. The maximum number of medallions has been increased to 6. Medallions that increase the number of stored Endrite crystal medallions are no longer necessary. The monster level of the temple now factors in the levels of the areas where the crystals used, open and were obtained. Oh yeah, that's really nice change. The monster level of the temple. So in other words, the areas, it's not based on character level anymore. It's based on where you found the temple areas. The corruption chamber. Temple bonus has been updated to add the monster modifiers chance instead of additional monster modifiers. What does that mean? Oh, add monster modifiers chance? Alright. Corruption chamber nerfed? I think that's what that means. Portals created in the Temple of Ziri now create a corresponding portal to the parent Val runes for ease of access. Oh, yay! Portals buffed, yay! Val beacons now show a grayed out icon on the minimap when completed. Fair enough. There are now 4 types of infusers. We knew about this. Some Val infusers are split, and they can apply to martial weapons, Arcanist infusers to wands, catalyzed infusers to jewelry, and then armor's infusers applied to armor. Val catalyzing infusers can be applied. I always said that. All infusers can only be used on items at or above 20% quality. Fair enough. Fate of the Vault currency items now have a max stack of 5,000 when storing wildcard slots in the currencies tab. That's nice. What were they before? Probably less than that, actually. Some of the possible outcomes of applying the Val Cultivation Orbs unique items have been updated. Interesting. The series roll unique staff can now roll 10 to 20%. Previously, okay, so they nerfed that. At Series Splendor, now roll 66 to 100 max energy shield. Previously 100 to 200, so that got halved. So basically, have the series rule, have the series Splendor Covenant. Yeah, they have the effectiveness of like the rules of Cultivation Orbs. Hate Forge. Can now roll 1630 max for HP skill. Previously, that's 20 seconds. Previously, it's 8 to 12, up to past 6 seconds. So this is a nerf because 5 times 12 is, so it's like halved, but you don't have to build it up anymore. Wrathpith. Like, lost a quarter of its efficiency, essentially. Shackles the Wretched can no longer roll and now no longer roll elemental ailments other than freeze you inflict or reflected to you, instead not being able to roll damage per curse on you. So that's completely dead. The Vertex unique helmet can no longer roll plus level skill gems, now being able to roll plus 3 to 5 level of all curse skill gems. Yeah, it makes sense. Vertex, dead, a lot of Ziri items, nerfed 50% with cultivation. Alright, Abyss. There are now large abyss cracks in the Atlas, completing Atlas abyssal closing and always giving abyssal depth with the boss fight. Which I like. I like the deterministic part of that. We knew about that. This Atlas tree revamped, fair enough. Coolmax invitation is now always allocated to the map owner. Yeah, that makes sense. Abyss summons now drop in areas below level 65, so you have to actually go into maps for it. Items map only. Modifiers number of chests now applied to chests found in the Abyss. These also apply to chances to find abyssal depths, so the chance to find abyssal depths does not decrease the more chests in the area. Oh, okay, I didn't know that was actually a thing. Adjusted the damage of meteoric demise abyss monster modifier. What about lithomantic runes from the lithomantic runes abyss modifier are now active after a longer delay? So they didn't nerf the shade thing that everybody hates, the void ability. Oh well. Actually, meteoric demise is pretty bad if I recall. It was like Ullman's Legion or whatever. The respawn with like mortars is really bad. These were not that bad. Just the other ones that were. Oh well. Expedition League has been temporarily disabled due to integration. And disabled in standard. This will be reintegrated in standard after Valor is over. The recombinator has been disabled. The omen of recombination has been removed. Existing omens of recombination will be deleted upon logging in. Oh, that's actually a big change. Expedition. Recombinator. Disabled. The Forgotten by Time Expedition Precursor tab is temporarily disabled. Expedition explosives now wait to explode until most monsters unearthed by the previous explosive have been killed. Oh, that's interesting and silly. Not sure why they wait to explode until the previous explosives have been killed. Curious. You now use currency from your stash to purchase items from X edition vendors. That's actually really nice. Can use stash currency to buy from Xbed vendors. Thank goodness. Other endgame. With the introduction of the new endgame storyline, the Atlas has been reset. Your existing tablets and waystones will continue to work, so you continue progression as normal, but in order to gain points to Atlas tree, you'll need to do the Origin of Divinity storyline. Added support for searching to the endgame map, we knew about that. You now zoom out slightly further on the Atlas screen. Oh, that's good. Zoom out more, yay! There are now two versions of each Pinnacle boss. The quest version, the Infinite Farm version. As such, primary, secondary, and tertiary calamity fragments can no longer be attained. Tablets of the same type may now be used together to increase the amount of league content that is spawned. The specifics of this are different for each content type. In some cases, adding multiple tablets will increase the size of a single encounter, while in other cases will increase the number of encounters spawned. Makes sense. Okay. Same type tablets. Stack, I think we knew that. Each empty tablet slot now contributes to the amount of random non-tablet spawn. Oh, that's actually really fun. This means that if all tablet slots are full, you only see league content the tablets are using. The intent of this change is to make sure that you do not need to complete the Atlas trees for leagues you do not intend to run. That's actually really fun. Empty tablets. Slots increase. Amount of other non-tablet stuff. Okay, cool. I actually like that. Waystones must now be identified in order to activate them from the map device. What? In order to activate them in the map device. Oh, you can't run them on ID like in PoE. And now use Orbs of Chance on tablets. That makes sense. Some items and content now require you to specialize the Atlas tree, including exceptional items, fraction orbs, basic, and overseer precursor tablets. Okay, so in order to get fraction orbs in these tablets, you have to specialize in them. Tablets can no longer be used on maps that cannot have extra content, such as unique maps. Fair enough. League-specific tablets can no longer drop from non-map areas, such as Simulacrum, Abyssal Depths, or Twisted Domain. Fair enough. Lowered the base chances or essences as Mirror Spirit Shrines, Strong Boxes, Summoning Circles, and Rogue Exiles appearing in maps somewhat much larger increase in the now available in the Atlas tree. Fair enough. So the inherent rate of these, just do the Atlas tree, it'll fix it. Atlas passives that reference maps with powerful map bosses now work with Overseer precursor tablets and other sources of powerful map bosses. What does this mean? Oh, okay. Work with so they work with the powerful map bosses instead of just solely on the ones on the map. But just value of precursor tablet modifiers be similar type bonus. Wait, so what does this mean? A general precursor tablet similar to the same type bonus granted by wasteland modifiers. Okay, so they nerfed these, I guess, or something. Also reduce roll of variance on these modifiers. Sure. Falling modifiers can no longer roll on Wasteland's Baron, Beastly, Bramble, Doriani's, and I don't even remember what these affixes were. I'll have to look them up later. Whether a map modifier is suffix prefix has been adjusted so that generally prefixes modifiers affect a monster output towards the player, and suffixes and modifiers affect the player or monster defenses. Okay, that's fair. Falling suffix modifiers are not prefixes of destruction. I think it's like damage, fleeting is speed, impact, and these are all like, yeah. Chaos and all that. Projectile. Falling prefixes modifiers are now suffixes, buffering, enduring, feebling. Yes, like curses, reduce evasion, all that. Exported. Okay, sure. I'm not going to bother looking these up to verify that. That's too much effort. The overpowering Waystone modifier no longer causes monsters to have increased freeze build, shock chance, or inflict vulnerability. It now has have increased elemental ailment application. Not sure why they did. I guess that's because there's different elemental ailments out there. Waystone modifiers have been updated. They now provide more effectiveness, pack size, and rarity, monster rarity, or Waystone erupt chance depending on the modifier. These modifiers are now multiplicated for other sources, such as those found in the Atlas passive tree. Or, oh wait, so instead of increases, a more multiplier. Wait, okay, so that's a big change. Waystone mods are more multipliers, not increases? Question mark. Modifiers pack size now also provide a chance for additional rare monster appear in rare monster packs, so that's fun. Monster rarity is a new stat available that affects the chances of matching rare monsters. Chance for additional modifiers on rare monsters. Oh, okay, sure. Map modifiers include source increased number of rare monsters, increased number of magic monsters have been updated to only display the number at the header of the map. Wait, what does that mean? Number at the header of the map. Oh yeah, because it was also an explicit mod. Yeah, I remember this thing. Yep, this is not a functional change. Yep. Have the bonus, the quantity of item drop and experience gain from monster effectiveness, such as from Edziri's Temple. Yeah, who saw that coming? No one. Everybody did. Everybody did. The functionality of the Omen of Chaotic Rarity, Chaotic Quantity, and Chaotic Monsters have been inverted. Instead of guaranteeing new modifiers of their type, they instead prevent modifiers from being their type. Interesting. Okay, so they block the other few. That's a huge nerf, but probably needed. Add a new Omen of Chaotic Effectiveness. When this item is active in your inventory, your next cast will replace all modifiers Waystone that do not grant monster effectiveness. So you would need to like take out Omen. So that really drastically makes these useless. Up to 3 of the above omens may be used simultaneously. Okay, so yeah, that's going to make them more of a sink then. So like if you want quantity, you have to get rid of the rarity, monsters, effectiveness. Okay. So, Omens of Chaotic Converted, much more expensive to use. Have the damage extra buff granted from the following shrines: Freezing, Gluten, Meteoric, and Tempest. That's probably for the best. That makes monsters hurt more. Completion of the fixed locations of the Atlas is now shared with party members. Oh, that's really nice. With the addition of more varied content on the Atlas map, the size of content indicators has been increased by 50%. They really need to be that big? I guess so. Waystones have received new 2D art. Good. Yay! Alright. Let's read campaign replayability. Campaign replay. This is super important to me. To improve how long it takes for experienced players to replay through each league, we added elements multiple campaign. Areas will tell you where to go if you want to know what to look for. You can see examples in this video. Some areas throughout the game have been shortened. Remove the second Dreadnought area, the Dreadnought Vanguard. The Act 2 boss is now in the Dreadnought. Fair enough. Area Order and Act 3 has been somewhat rearranged to order make progression smoother. We saw a little bit of that, where like the Mountain Waterways leads to the Aztec Bog instead of like it being branching off. Waterway levers have been turned to pressure paths you simply need to walk over, and the final part of the level has the water pre-drain. Not sure why that matters, but sure. Monster density in the second half of the campaign has been reduced, especially in the interlude style, getting through these areas more quickly. Sure. Alright. Nothing new. Player changes. Bleed damage on players is no longer increased while players move. This change does not affect bleed players applied to monsters. Oh, that's interesting. Player balance. Bleed on players doesn't aggravate. Max runic ward is not added to your starting honor when beginning Trial of Sekhma. Fair enough. Defense's keyword is no longer in use. Existing uses of word defense is now explicitly refer to armor, evasion, and energy shield, making more clear that these modifiers are not applied. Runic ward, resistances, block, or other forms of protection. This is purely a description change. Fair enough. So that nerfs the Pathfinder. Well, it doesn't nerf the Pathfinder, it just makes the Pathfinder not able to spec in a runic ward. Only a single leech instance per resource. Can apply at a time. Life and energy shield. When multiple leech instances are active. Oh, per resource. Only the one with the highest recovery rate will recover until it expires, after which the next highest recovery rate instance will apply. Oh, interesting. That's actually not too bad. That just means you do high damage to a single target enemy. Leech. Only one source of leech per resource. Leech nerf. So you can't stack leech. There's now a limit on the maximum amount of damage a hit can be considered to deal for leech. Hits with less than 40,000 damage are unaffected. But if a hit would deal more than 40,000 total damage, it is treated as dealing only 40k for the purpose of leech calculation. The value of each damage type in the head are scaled down evenly to reach this limit. This means extremely high damage hits stop improving leech past a certain point, but increasing your leech percentage will always increase the amount of damage or resources you're gaining. Okay. Leech caps at 40k before increases. That's important. The formula for deflect is adjusted by better scaling with investment deflection rating with a cap of 95% chance to deflect, similar to evade being capped at 95. The new chance to deflect is... what is that? 150? Or 1 point, yeah, 150. Alright, so the defender deflection rating. This makes for a linear path that gets rewarded at higher investments. So it works like evade, but for all damage. That's actually not bad. Probably, maybe. Parry! Shield block and resonating shield no longer delay heavy sim buildup from decaying longer than expected. Oh, that's a buff. Okay, so... let me write that down. Deflect, buffed, parry, block, shield, buffed. Good morning, yes sir! We're reading the patch notes. Melee attacks now only apply slash damage once per damaging area. Some attacks create multiple damaging areas during use. For example, rolling assault creates multiple damaging areas around you as you move. Interesting. I'm not sure what that means, but we'll see. In the plains, found a horse, had no Wi-Fi. I see. Well, I hope it was fun. Did you keep the horse? Did you eat the horse? But yeah, I hope you had fun. Sorry you didn't have Wi-Fi though. When minions are removed due to resources changing, such as weapon swapping, younger, newer minions are now prioritized for removal over older minions to avoid wasting minion cooldowns abilities unnecessarily. That's nice. Minions affected by last gas support or Techrod's Revenge, they stay alive for a few seconds. Or when totems affected by unnamed Hardwood Oracle, can no longer die during the effect from taking further damage, achieving their maximum life. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Makes sense. Stats worded as when you collect a remnant. No longer give you the benefits of the stat when an ally shares the effect of a remnant with you. Wait, what? Oh. So if the ally shares the effects of a remnant, you don't count as collecting it. So party play nerf. I don't think that's worth writing down. Update the name of the buff that Trinity grants to Affinity as residence name of the keystone. This is purely a description update. Archon buffs are no longer inherently lost when you attack. This is now a property of the elemental Archon specifically. That's fun. So that's a buff. Archon buff. Ooh, that's fun. Yeah. New content and features. New hashtag content. Martial artist ascendancy for the monk. We knew about that. Martial artist has become a master of illusions. Empowered by the runes stocking in his body, this class creates powerful illusions, summoning illusory bells to aid him. Illusion bells and excels at using his hands as weapon. Sure. Spirit Walker ascendancy for the Huntress. Bound of the Wilds. Spirits. Yep. Stag, owl, or bear. Spirit Walker may subdue even more formidable beasts, binding them in spirit. Yep. New lineage supports that they haven't described a single thing for, and new unique items that they haven't. Oh, Barracks Grip is here. Oh, the Barracks are here. Wonder what they do. Let's see if there's anything that's familiar here. Alright, none of these have any. You can't really tell what any of these do. The Barrack Rings are here. Brutus's Lead Springer. I think we saw that. Same with Cat and Nine Tails. I bet these are jewels because they're called decrees, right? Duality, Eventide Petals, Eyes of the Runefather, Facebreaker, we saw that. Pharaoh's Gift. I'm not going to bother. Invoices. Yeah, a bunch of stuff. Some we saw, some we haven't. At 8 new idols come exclusive monsters possessed by Asmirian spirits. Cool. Oh yeah, Mageblood is here. Oh, Loreweave is here. Oh, okay, so there was a thing with the Genesis tree in PoE 2 having like hands on its rings you could put on it. So I bet Grasping Males and Loreweave is how you gotta do the 60 rings thing, but for the Genesis tree instead. Ooh, Joffrey's Sanctuary. Added the new... Yeah, but Mageblood was teased already. I bet... You know what? Okay. I bet the Mageblood is going to be... Your flasks and your charms do not run out of charge, like, are always considered to have charges. Which would be broken, but then again, so is Mageblood. But that's my guess. Oh, I've seen Zero's teasers. It's PvE2. Fair enough. It looks cool. Add the new Minion Splash and Minion Splash 2 strength support gems, which create minions with strike, causing minions to have melee splash. Fair enough. The Fragment Stash tab is now available for use in PoE 2. Yay! You can hold your fragments. And stuff. And if you previous search one in PoE 1, automatically available. Without a Fragment Stash tab. Yep. Added support for build guides. We knew about this bit. You can make .build files, which I really hope they port to PoE 1, because this is really cool. Add the ability to quickly search the trade market, so you can do, you don't need like Awaken PoE Trade or whatever they use for PoE 2. Shift Alt clicking on an item will populate the filters for searching trade markets. So you can see the current prices for rare items. You can enable, disable each modifier. Yeah, so quick search. You already knew about that. In party play, you can now quickly revive any fallen party member after defeating the boss. So that's nice. That's not mentioned before. Quick revive after defeating the boss. You can now skip dialogue sequences with NPCs by pressing escape. Oh, that's huge. Skip dialogue entirely by pressing escape. That's a D3 feature. Added a reforging bench to the entrance to the Trial of Sakma. Continue to incrementally improve sound artifacts and environments. Glad that's the bingo. If I did a bingo card, this would be the free space. Alright, now we actually get the balance changes. Changes. Chalupa. Into the Breach skill granted by Waking Dream. Notable skill now grants sleep 20% of your max life. Previously 15. 10% of your max life when Blue Flame. Previously 15. And that's mainly because they nerf Leech anyways, so that's actually really good. That's like a capped Leech, essentially. And Leech getting nerfed, that actually might make Acolyte really okay. Not to mention there's the secret Ascendancy is probably the Acolyte of Chula. That's a good question. I think it's because new minions... I think it's because old minions would have their cooldown up before new minions would. I think that's what they mean, because when you spawn a minion, their cooldown resets, or when you despawn and respawn one. So like if an old minion has their cooldown already ready, then it's best not to despawn them first. I think. I don't mess with minions enough to know the exact answer to that. The wording of Into the Breach skills is updated to clarify behavior ranges related to Flames Chula. Into the Breach now applies modifiers to remnant pickup range, to the range at which Flames Chula can be seen. This is purely a visual change. Alright. Blood Mage. Blood Mage was really good. Blood Vitality Siphon Nodal now grants 20% of spell damage leeches life previously. Oh, Blood Mage has not been changed at all. Okay, so they're nerfing crits somewhere else because Blood Mage was just super critical for crit. Chronomancer. We saw changes to this in the teaser. The Rapid River notable has been removed and is specifically taken by Now and Again. Now and Again has been reworked. Now grants cascadable skills with a 20% chance to echo and repeatable skills have a 20% chance to repeat. I think this one used to be that cooldowns you had a chance to just not to bypass their cooldown. I actually like this change because like unreliable cooldowns is a little bit weirder than like unreliable echoes. Like this is basically like swift assembly now for traps, except it's for repeatable and echo spells rather than like your cooldown randomly doesn't go off. That never felt great compared to like just chance of repeat and echo. Yeah, about Encore is taken. Okay, and I think they recall like one of their good skills. Yeah, the Ultimate Command Noble skill now requires about Encore, sure. I want to say Sands of Time was the one that needed to be like, didn't require 8 points anymore or something like that. Alright. Add the new Phase Form notable passive, Receding Footprints in the Sand. Phase Form takes 30% less damage. Oh yeah, this is the kind of like a Petrified Blood style thing. Take 30% less damage just flat out. And 4 seconds after being damaged by an enemy hit, take damage equal to 30% of that hit's damage. So in addition to 30% less damage, including dots, if you're hit, take damage. Okay, so the downside is that once you take damage, you take 30% more, like increased of it, but you take 30% less. So it's like delayed damage taken. But Temporal Rift can remove that delayed damage, so now you got like really good defensive layer here, theoretically. And it has a way faster cast time. That's really good. 0.1, like 10th of a second instead of half of a second. That's actually really good buff. Inevitable Agony. Granted by the inevitability notable skill has been reworked. It is no longer a curse. 2-second cooldown. The debuff is now a life loss effect of secondary hit damage. The debuff amount is not displayed in stacked health bars. So this works a lot like the Amazon's ability with the weakness, like it shows the health bar thing. Yeah, it's more like the Delirious Bloodline, you're right, Esther. So, let's see. Default now instantly culls enemies when total life loss reaches. Oh, this is like the delayed life loss thing. I think they do. Evil targets lose life, deal 20% of hit damage, dealt to them while debuffed. Enemy curse effectiveness only applies to skill, meaning unique enemies have the same effect as previously, while other enemies have less. Debuff duration is now 12 seconds previously. Way less than that. Quality now grants meters. This, not sure what quality you get from that. Probably from like a unique or something. The skill also has received new visual effects. Sands of Time buff. Grants skill speed, previously cast speed. Oh, that's actually really nice too. That could change some skills up. Generally Legionnaire. The crystalline potential noble has been removed. I forget what that is. Added a new notable passive skill, Essence of Virtue. This grants Virtuous Barrier, which, while active, conjures a glittering barrier that accumulates projective Dinstone motes of each attribute over time, but loses a random mote when you're hit. This could be good. Like, if you have 8 skills and they're all... we saw the teaser for this, and essentially it's like a strength skill. Like, you get 3 by default, and then you could get like another 8 or something from skills, and they grant different defensive layers. And you're only losing 1 when you're hit is actually really nice, so that might be really good. Or just at least a nice defensive layer. The Advanced Thaumaturgy notable no longer grants Thaumaturgical Dynamism skill, instead grants Gem quality, grants Saga skills, and additional effect. Oh yeah, this thing's really cool. Saga skills, all skills now have secret gem quality, kind of like how the Oracle had all socketables had extra sockets effects. All gems in the game now have additional quality stat that can be seen while holding Alt. Yep. After paying this notable. Pathfinder, overwhelming toxicity. Now grants 50% less poison duration, previously 35, so Pathfinder got nerfed. Running assault, now grants 30% less moving speed, previously 50 from using skills while moving, previously 50%. Alright, Pathfinder nerfed a bit, not much. Witch Hunter, Obsessive Rituals now grants 50% less armor invasion rating, previously 35%. Really? That was... It did not need... It was already kind of squishy, but whatever. Witch Hunter defense nerfed. Lol. Alright, passive tree. Companion theme, that's for Spirit Hunter, Life Recoup, Speed, passive skills. Who's gonna take those? Didn't hear about that. Archon of Undeath. Okay, sure. It's just like non-elemental stuff. The Ancestral Bond Keystone now causes placing totems to have no cost and not require consuming charges to place it. Costs totems. Still costs 75 spirit each and now doubles totem limit instead of removing it completely. Interesting. So they nerfed the super totem spam by having a billion spirit, but it's still doubled. So and imagine that, Ancestral Bond got nerfed. History repeats itself, time is a flat circle. From like no totem limit to +1 totem, essentially. That actually that amuses me. Ancestral Bond got nerfed. Just like PvE1. The no mana cost is nice because they used to be pretty expensive and not require consuming charges to place. Oh, that's actually really good. Now Spell Totem actually works. Spell Totem buffed. That's actually really good. The Trusted Kinship Keystone. So Esther, if you didn't know, Spell Totem in PoE2 requires you to spend a power charge to summon a Spell Totem. So Ancestral Bond's mandatory now, essentially. The Trusted Kinship Keystone passive skill now grants 30% more reservation efficiency of Panic. So what was it before? And 20% less reservation efficiency of non... Okay. No longer provides you have 30% less defenses or companions to +1 for each defense of every 2 defenses that you have. Okay, so it just makes you preserve better. But, okay, so it doesn't give you the nerf and defense, it just makes it so you're speccing into companions now. Battle Pact now grants 50% more life leech and less life leech speed. Can't recover life from other than leech. Life leech effects not removed from another. Oh. No longer provides instant leech and cannot use other life flasks. Which, can't use life flasks is basically already implicitly in here with the can't recover life other than from leech. That's still pretty good. The less life leech speed is really bad though. Imagine that, Valpak needing rework again. History repeating itself. Reform barrier cluster has been removed. I don't even remember what that was. Warding fetish cluster removed. I think that's like a energy shield recharge rate node. Warding fetish. I guess we could check the skill tree for this. Hang on. I have it open. Warding. Warding potions. Thicket warding. Yeah, warding fetish is... Oh, damage on curse on you. Interesting. Energy shield. What was the one that got removed, though? Reformed barrier. Reformed. Your energy shield charts when you or your minions are reformed. Oh, no wonder that got removed. That would be broken. I'm surprised that didn't get removed earlier. Somebody found a way to cheese that. Just instant reform minions. Yeah, that's super good. No wonder that got removed. Storm Charge Breaking Point Cluster no longer connects to a jewel socket. Sure. Adamant Recovery has been replaced by Fortified Aegis. Grants 100% increased armor, evasion, energy shield from equipped shield. I honestly forget what this did. I wish they told you the previous thing here. Arcane Mixtures. 10% cast you use a Mana Flask recently instead of 25% energy shield recharge rate. Fair enough. I get the feeling they're going to nerf energy shield recharge in general. Ashen Forest, 10% faster start energy shield. Yeah, nerfed that. Cast and Cascade. 6% increased cast speed reach and ability cast in the last 8 seconds, previously 4. Oh, that's actually a huge buff. So instead of cast recently, it's last 8 seconds. That's nice. Chakra of Breathing, notable. 20% faster charge instead of 1 increase per 4 dexterity. Okay, yeah. So you can't dex stack, recharge rate. Fair enough. Commanding Rage. 1% per rate. 2% per 5. Okay, so that's like a pretty big nerf, but still okay. Chakra Breathing was deleted? Yep! It certainly was! So, let's see, because that's essentially like having Chakra of Breathing if you only had 80 dexterity, which you get a lot more. Hey, Dreamland. Good to see you. Convalescence, notable. Now grants 20% faster charge, previously 40. Yeah, they're nerfing all the energy shield recharge. Faster start instead of recharge. Oh. I thought... Yeah. Faster start you could get from elsewhere, usually, and then recharge rate you just get from something like, say, Chakra of Breathing. Yeah. And they nerfed a lot of faster charge and shield recharge. Or the Guardian, block chance. Okay, and 20% reduce. Oh wow, that's funny. Covering ward. More energy shield and block, and more block chance. No longer grants recharge rate. Recharge rate? What's that? We don't know what that is. Okay, so yeah. The critical overload notable. Now prevents 15% increased criticals. Oh, that's probably a nerf, actually. Yeah, it really is. It is. Well, the fun. I mean, Valpax got nerfed too, Ancestral Bond got nerfed in the same way. Well, not the same way, but like, Ancestral Bond got nerfed from being what it is in PvE2 to like it got nerfed in a very similar way. Valpak got nerfed in a very similar way. Energy Shield's getting nerfed in a very similar way. Time is a flat circle. The Cunning Fox, played with Quick Fox. 20% increased deflection rating while moving. All attribute prior to the notable... Wait, wasn't Cunning Fox good? I forget. Deadly Force. Yeah, I haven't paid attention too much to the passive tree, so I'm gonna I'll be glossing over some of this. Critical Overload is kind of amusing. It's essentially like Elemental Overload version got nerfed here. Deadly Force. More crit chance. Oh, what's the downside? Yeah, okay. Say if you've dealt a critical hit in the recently or past 8 seconds, that stuff got nerfed. Bindle Ward, plus 8 Chaos Res, faster start of Energy Shield Recharge, previously 25. Go figure. Devoted Protector. Nerfed Energy Shield Recharge. Nerfed Energy Shield Recharge Rate. Nerfed. Yeah, what does Cunning Fox do anyways? That's on the south side of the tree, right? Yeah, what is that? Oh, quality of all skills. Okay, that is an interesting change. What does it do now? Quick Fox. So I guess they didn't want quality. That's very strange. Yeah, I don't even know if that's like nerf. That's just strange. I guess to make room for the Gemini Legionnaire from being broken or something. Echoing Pulse. Echoes have 25% increased area effect. No grants, final repeat. Which did not function. That's funny. Effervescent. 4% increase previously. Okay, yeah, so the increased cast speed stuff is nice. So instead of having to do every 4 seconds, every 8 seconds, which is super good. Yeah. Energizing Archon, 30% duration instead of 40% energy shield recharge rate. Wonder what they're nerfing here. Take a shot every time they nerf energy shield recharge rate. Die of liver failure. Faster Starve is nerfed instead of 30% increased recharge. Energizing Deflection. Yep. Essence Infusion. No longer grants increased energy shield recharge rate. That recharge rate is going to be slow and you will like it. Fast Metabolism, 40% increased Android leeching life, reduce the life use effects not removal. Yeah, that got shoved into Volpact. Volpact now gets the unreserved life thing. And Volpact also got reworked. Leech got nerfed in general. That's gonna be interesting. It didn't. I thought it'd be like totally dead, but I think Leech is still gonna be the way to go to get your mana back. I don't think that's totally dead. I think it's just like Life Leech is nerfed more than Mana Leech is. Fortifying Blood, 50% Life Leech, previously 20. Life Leech nerfed. Goring, no longer grants 40% increased Fizz, now grants... Wait, Life and Life Leech? Oh, previously 3% reduced, 3% increased mana. Oh, that's nice. They actually added life on the tree by 3%. The Immortal Infamy notable Africa Rings at 10% increased energy shield recharge. Well, that's bad for recharge rate people. Lifelong Friend, Nurturing Guardian, have swapped positions. I don't even remember where they were. Energy shield recharge, nerfed. Max energy shield, nerfed. Quick response, nerfed. Yeah. Anything related to energy shield, recharge, and recharge rate is basically nerfed. Same with rapid recharge. Refocus is replacing mana regen instead of recharge rate. Yep. Either swap to something else or nerfed. Shattered Palm, increased crit damage bonus, previously 10% chance to daze. Huh, that's a weird one. Was Daze really that good? I guess it was. Shimmering Notable. Oh yeah, let's do that for fun. Energy Shield Recharge. Here, for reference. This is all the Energy Shield Recharge. I'm even taking some of it myself. There's like a lot of it on the tree, and that's gonna change. Ensuring notable now grants 10% faster and 10% evasion if you've hit recent. No grants and increased shield recovery rate if you haven't been hit recently. Okay. Yep, fair enough. So yeah, no your upside here. Staggering Palm. More fizz damage. Oh, so they swapped Staggering Palm and Shattered Palm, essentially. Interesting. Weird. I guess they want to nerf Staggering Palm rather than nerf Shattering Palm. Storm Charge. What does Storm Charge do normally? No longer provides crit chance or 4% elemental damage. Okay. So no more LE overload stacking nodes, essentially. Damage penetrate 8% LE res. Tempered Mind now provides 50% effect of fully broken armor, previously 20 increased crit damage bonus. Okay, that's so they're nerfing crit damage generally and nerfing swapping where you can get crit damage. Voracious no longer grants instant leech. Okay, yeah, instant leech is gone from the tree, it looks like. Which fair. Okay, wide barrier, 30% increased blockchain, 20% reduced armor. Previously, 25% reduced defenses. Oh, so you can stack other stuff then, like evasion here. Oh, that's actually really good. Wyvern's Breath, notable passive, 40% elemental shapeshift, now also applies to freeze buildup, but is otherwise identical. Sure. The first two spell damage passive skills at the starting area of passive tree for Witch and Sorceress now do more spell damage! Yay! Spell damage! Small passives... Yep, energy shield recharge rate nerfed by a lot, actually. That's like... Yeah, two-thirds of it gone there. Recharge rate. The granted energy shield recharge rate removed from the passive tree and replaced the fast start energy shield at a lower value. Oh, is energy shield recharge rate gone entirely? Interesting. Small passive skills granting life leech value of 8%. I didn't check all these, but yeah, energy shield recharge rate might be super rare. Not entirely gone, but very rare. So it's basically the same as like percent life on the strength part of the tree. You know what? I mean, it was a long time. I'm not surprised, and hopefully, I don't know. Maybe people can build around that. The small banner area effects provide 12% banner area effect, previously 15. So they nerf banner AoE, weirdly enough. Banner area tactician. Unfavored feast, house jewel, no longer grants 7% instant leech. So they got rid of instant leech. So let me see, takeaways here. Fall pack, change, nerf. Instant leech gone. Energy shield recharge rate nearly gone. Start of recharge nerfed. Okay. Skill changes. Skills with a fixed number of projectiles, such as Glacial Lance, can now benefit from effects such as projectile count. Modifier supply something else instead, such as Ricochet 3 support. Oh, that's cool. So that's like the opposite thing they did to Runegrafted Refraction. Skills which have a cost of 0 mana now displays this cost. This allows players to distinguish between skills like Default Attack, which do not have a cost at all, and those which do have a base cost but with 0 base value. Well, that's actually a nice QOL. Crossbow ammo skills now have a base cost of 0 rather than having their cost completely disabled, meaning that effects that add additional costs will now apply to them. Shame. Wait, actually... I mean... Technically loading them gave them the cost. So, we'll see how that changes it. And Knights inflicted on target by oil ground that has been ignited can no longer compound. It cannot be compounded with other skills that ignite the same skill use. That's probably a huge nerf to Oil Grenade or something, or Oil Barrage. Alright. Skill changes. Oil nerfed. All command skills have 50% move speed to use previously 70. Oh, that's actually nice. Command skills. Because that's one part I didn't like about command skills. Disciple of Arash seems actually pretty good right now. Align Fate. Though it's Disciple of Arash relied on energy shields, so maybe less so. Align Fate, but Fatal Vision now has modifier skill and recovery rate, also apply to visage appearance frequency. I also forget that did. Ancestral Warrior Totem no longer has the hidden. Oh, this is something Palstron really got angry about. This delay has 50% of the skill's attack time and described accordingly on the skill. No longer delayed, yay! Ancestral Warrior Totem not going to piss off Palstron. That's my note for it. Bone Storm no longer has the sustain tag. What was sustain for that even do? It was a channeled skill, right? Not sure what you do with sustain for Bone Storm. Why that nerf? Oh, maybe because does that nerf a cast a meta skill? I guess we'll find out. Bone Shatter quality is nerfed, so it's slower. Comet. Comet was a big controversy. Now deals less cooldown to general 11 up to slightly less damage, but not enough to matter. Fire Infused. Now this is the big part. Fire Infused is less damage. Again, it's nerfed, but it's like still good. This isn't bad. That's not the part that was bad about Comet. The part was you could spam it with meta skills. Cold of the Week now has can't be evaded. Now deals. Cold of the Week got buffed in every way, except yeah, Cold of the Week is just straight up buffed. Interesting. Cold of the Week buffed. That was the charge and get a frenzy charge skill ability, I believe. The banner skills no longer have a movement speed penalty during use. Thank goodness. Now have a banner aura radius of 6 feet. Okay, that's actually no wonder they got nerfed then with above here. So less AoE, but you don't have to be slow when you use them. Banners, movement buffed. Earthquake does more damage. Good. It needed to. Eternal Rage. No longer be activated in specific weapon sets. It's now required to be activated in both weapon sets. Until activated, this is not possible. Fair enough. So I think there was like some druid shenanigans, talisman shenanigans you could do with this, and okay, whatever. Sad, but not the end of the world. Barrel Invocation no longer bypasses cooldown of socketed skills. What did that even do? So that's like a Mortar Breath style nerf. Flame Breath now has an energy gain penalty similar to Incinerate. Flame Breath nerfed for energy gain. Fortifying Cry now consumes 1 stack when you detonate a shield wall. Fortifying Cry Shockwaves. Fortifying Cry was like something for shield wall to buff, right? Gonna hit the same enemy multiple times. Shield Wave now deals. Shield Wave got nerfed. Only consumes 1 stack instead of like all of them, I guess. And cannot shotgun. Fortifying Cry gutted. Frag rounds. Quality now grants more frag shots. That's actually a huge buff, though. Well, not really, because frag rounds already had a lot of fragments, so this is pretty much a nerf. Freezing Salvo. Are they nerfing crossbow skills? Probably for the best they do. Way less chill inflict and freeze build up. Freezing Salvo was the rain from the sky thing. I'd barely use that anyways. Permafrost bolts were better for the freeze effect. So Freezing Salvo less useless, or less useful than ever. It was okay damage, but the magnitude was perfectly useless. Gathering Storm now causes perfectly timed dash to explode any temp spill and hit, causing massive shockwave that deals a lot of damage. Shocking Ground is let the wake of the Tempest Shockwave, previously on perfect dash. So they hugely buff Gathering Storm, with the race turning precise timing to devastating area clearing combo. Perfect timing shockwaves can only hit enemies once per skill use and no longer interact with objects created by non-Tempest spell skills. So you can't pair it with like ice walls or something silly. Shockwave limit is now 50. Quality one grants increased window. Max shockwaves per use. So probably a nerf to certain interactions, which I never dabbled with, but better normal usage. You put Gathering Storm good with Bell. I'll write that. Gathering Storm good with Bell, bad with other stuff. Ghost Dance! Oh, this is a big one. Interval between Ghost Shrouds is no longer a duration! Now its modifiers skill and recovery rate also apply Ghost Shroud's gain frequency, and now has when hit, lose a Ghost Shroud. And regenerate energy shield equal to 2% of your evasion rating per second if you lost the Ghost Shroud recently. Wait, what was it before then? When hit, lose a Ghost Shroud. Or what does it originally have? Regenerate energy shield. I want to say it's basically nerfed. Oh, it did instantly? Oh. Okay, yeah. Ghost Shroud nerfed. Ghost Shroud nerfed. And nerfed. And still probably used. Because, like, where else are you can get your energy shield recharge when everything's nerfed anyways? Grim Feast. Grim Resurrection now has 1 second cooldown. I honestly forget that did. 5% instant versus 2% for free. Yeah, I know. It's a huge nerf, but it still might be... Or side grade. Yeah. Nerf. Slash side graded. Still used. Probably. Grim Resurrection, I honestly can't remember what the new Grim Feast does anyways, so who cares. Ice Shot. Ice Shards no longer have 24%. Okay, so let's freeze build up. Ice Strike. Okay, increase instead of more attack speed, fair enough. Lightning Arrow. Well, Lightning Beam is no longer able to chain on the same target. That's a... Is Lightning Arrow dead? Is Lightning Arrow single target dead? Yeah, that's what I thought. Because that whole interaction was that Lightning Arrow with Lightning Rod was able to shotgun the same target. Can't hit the totems anymore at the same time? Yeah. Lightning Arrow dead. Well, Lightning Arrow single target. Dead, dead, dead. Lunar Blessing. Trigger movements are not considered melee skills. I never used Lunar Blessing. I probably should have. Magma Barrier is nerfed by 1 point. And still probably useful. Mirage Archer, Mirage Deadeye can now be used with channel skills. Did they nerf that? That's funny. Mirror of Refraction, granted by series rule. Modifier cooldown all apply to mirror appearance frequency. So it's probably the same as like... Actually, that might be a buff. Oh, Oil Barrage. This one was probably mana cost and reduced. Empower roll mana cost per second equivalent to initial mana cost. Oil Barrage now deals 10% more damage. Oh, wait. 10% less. So the empowered version's nerfed. Power will now consume power charge every 1.2 seconds. Continue channeling previously every 1.2. So, regular oil barrage buffed, but the part people care about got nerfed. Parry. Parry effects now change more close matches animation. No longer has a bonus attack distance. Rude. Parry nerfed. I'm still going to use it. Like, okay, sure, it's nerfed a little bit because it, like, parry had a weird thing where like it had a wider attack block thing, but I'm still gonna try it. You just have to get close or something. That's fine. Rip all the people practicing parry though. It's still gonna be good. Like, parry was a sleeper and when it first came out, and it's actually good now. Like, it's still gonna do what it's meant to do and do it well. Poison Burst. This one had people's eyes on it, so poison duration now the lowest it was possible yet. Quality now grants way less. That's actually still fine. Barely nerfed. Poison Burst. Barely nerfed. Like, sure, the duration's shorter, but like still was used. Pounce. Now it's cooldown, longer cooldown. Go figure. Pounce, longer cooldown. Go figure. Still probably used for zoomies. Ravenous Swarm. Yep. The same deal as like the other sustained stuff. Modifiers cooldown rate, all supply swarm spawning frequency. Rend fixed a bug where lightning charge Rend was scaling twice the levels, so Rend was double dipping. Base damage was increased to compensate. Lightning charge Rend now deals more damage. No, it deals less damage. So base damage is increased, the damage itself is lowered. Sure, whatever. Resonating Shield, nerfed, Rolling Magma, changed 3 times now, up to 5. That's actually a nice buff. That was the Wyvern skill, I think? Rolling Slam is faster. First Slam deals less damage. The second Slam deals less damage. So faster but deals less damage. Rolling Slam faster, deals less damage. What? Nerf to Warrior campaign, I guess. Weird. Now Shield Wall and the Shields thing are the ones that are interesting to look for. Oh, they just barely got nerfed. Shattering... I think the Fortifying Cry is what really nerfed Shield abilities. Shattering Spite. Now it's 50% damaging elements. No longer life leech from explosion. Okay, so whatever. I never used that spear, so I hear it was really good though, so it's nerfed. Shield wall, less damage. Shred. Slower because the increased attack speed thing. Snipe. Snipe was OP. Explosion now deals more damage. Now deals less regular attack damage. Icy Blast deals about the same amount, or no, lower damage early on in the campaign, but the same later on. And okay, so they nerfed the lower levels of it, so it's weaker in campaign. The smaller explosion. Snipe. Nerfed for campaign. Go figure. Spell Totem can be used while moving. Oh, that's really nice. Supercharged Slam. Now clearly states as fixed attack time that cannot be modified. This is purely a description change. Sure. Tame Beast. Summon Beast now deal 4% more damage at gem level 8. Okay. That immediately summons newly tamed beasts if you have enough spirit. Interesting. I thought tame beasts were decent already, but okay, sure. Tame beast buffed, huh? Tempest Spell can be ancestrally boosted. Can have backup 3 bells. Greatly improving his combat potential. All caps for that one. Bell is back, baby. Toxic growth. This was good, right? More pustules. Limit of 5. So it just shoots all 5 at once. Okay, toxic growth was part of the poison thing, right? Toxic growth nerfed. That was the poison burst interaction thing too, I believe. So nerfed. Poison burst. Question mark. Thrashing vines. I think Disciple of Rasha is actually probably the way to go, except for Energy Shield is nerfed, so rip. Time of need, interval no longer duration, and reduced to cooldowns. Oh, time of need is actually buffed. I used that skill and it was nice to have, so this actually might be okay. That might be really okay. Time of need, sleeper buffed. Volcano, more crit. That's nice. Actually, a pretty high increase crit. Rolling Assault. Yep, slower. Wing Blast is better. Lovely. Alright, support. Unleash, Expand, Salvo, Freezing Salvo. All now use the concept of seals instead of having their own version. The same concept. This being standardized use for seals will be consistent for all cases. Roll to some paper changes. Okay, so supports granting seals now consistently off the seal category, so you can't stack up on them, which probably is a Twister nerf. Note that Twister didn't get directly nerfed. I bet the support changes changed that. Breathing Salvo, Realm Seal, not getting seals, but it's no longer case, but consistent with other seal mechanics. Sure. Salvo. Previously gave a seal, and now getting seal 1 up to 6. Okay, cool. Salvo's actually decent. I mean, it's bad because, like, you basically used to gain quick charges, but this could be interesting. Advancing Storm, Sword, rather than any spells you can use. Oh, okay, so that supports totems or something. Arjune's Metal, never used it. Oh. Huge nerf, though. Load bolt and all cross skills and dealing critical supporting skills. So in other words, rip guaranteed, infinite crossbow. Series and patience, no longer supports persistent skills, rip buffing. I think the big one would be totally whatever the life one was, which is not here, so it's going by alphabetical order. And the bifurcate one, which is Garakon's Resolve. Brink now be cut at level 1. I forget what Brink even did. Culmination 2. Corrupting Cry, don't cause skills inflict. So triggers a skill which inflicts corrupted blood. Skill by level gen. Oh, okay. Interesting. Wonder why. There has to be some weird thing with this. That probably is like a weird interaction with like meta skills, because you can't trigger a trigger skill, so in other words, this probably stopped it from being a proc ability. Gang hacks. Oh, there's no thing on cast and critical here. That might be persistent. Dialis Desire is nerfed. Voidry's Undoing, no one causes Curse Ground, become hazards. Oh, this is just the Witch Toad thing, so I guess hazards was too good. I think they're just nerfing weird interactions they found. Infernal Legion. Let's see. Supports. I'm too unknowledgeable to know what's up here. Sad face. Infernal Legion. Oh, that's a nerf. Oh wait, this is really good. So they nerfed it a lot. With a raise on the base air damage. Yeah, so they nerfed the damage of Infernal Legion, go figure. And they have fire res, which is bad, right? Because that means they take less damage. Wait, no it isn't. That's actually good. Infernal Legion 3 can no longer be attained. Lol. Actually, no, I'm not. Alright, Infernal Legion nerfed. Lol. Living Lightning no longer places minions when summoning new one. Already maximum number of minions. That's probably for the best. Organa Simpus, supporting these summer skills. Overabundance 3. Not support persistent skills, sure. Overextend can no longer be attained. Overextend is essentially Legacy. I don't even remember what it did. Aquate's Pack no longer costs support skill with inflict corrupted blood. Rage can support minion skills. Oh, that's good. What does this do? Yeah, so this is the same as the corrupting cry thing or whatever. That it basically causes triggers. Rotha's Assault. Less bolts loaded. Percent increase. Okay, so they're nerfing crossbows of all things. Refraction, sure. Now additionally, so they buff refractions. Shock conduction can no longer be attained. Static shocks. Nerfed Uhtred's Augury, nerfed Uhtred's Omen, Volt. Got buffed. Interesting, wasn't this good? Unique item changes. Abertuno got buffed, I guess. Apex Supremacy. Energy Shield Recharge, what's that? And Serious Acuity reworked. I guess Serious Acuity had Instant Leech before something. So we got the Herald Royal Queen skill. Seer and Inheritance. I barely used any of these. We'll see if I can recognize any of them. They nerfed Brass Dome. We made worse Divine Orb. Okay, Carnage Heart. Basically forgot that. Chober Chobber. More minion skill. Death's Harp. No 3 additional arrows, just has chance to fire additional arrow that surpassing chance, which is about the same, roughly. You can make it better than the original in that sense. Elevor. So, but it says existing items. It doesn't say anything about existing items. Elevor can be buffed. Charms or charms per second. Shtera, I don't remember that one. Glowswarm. Now grants guard. Oh, that's nice. Hollow Mask. Got reworked. Husk of Dreams. Now named Reverie. This is the rework as well. I didn't look at that. Iree's Ire is worse. Yay, I guess. Keeper of the Ark. Maniac now drops identified. Good for loot filters, maybe. I don't know. Uniques that I do not recognize. Plaguefinger. And now it cannot inflict elemental ailments. So isn't Plaguefinger used for inflicting elemental ailments in some way? So that's probably a huge nerf. Uniques. Shrug. Is there any unique here? Fallen. Has some block now. Support skills cost nothing. No, it says Runic Ward. That's cool. Fallen actually might be okay then. Item changes. Greater currencies made rarer. Transmutation augmentation ones being significantly rarer. Raider Orbs Transmutation now minimum modifier for level 44, making it more accessible. So they're more accessible but rarer. That's not a trade-off there, but okay, sure. They now begin dropping in Act 4. Divine Orbs are now more common. Okay. I guess that's to make up for the fact that the temple was so Brain fried people's dopamine. The corruption outcome that randomizes numeric values of modifiers assigned beyond normal range. Now multiplies each modifier based on the current value instead of randomizing the value. Curious? Oh, wait, so if it's like negative, then it's going to stay negative, and if it's positive, it's going to stay positive, is what I'm reading here. Items. Corruption multiplies randomly instead of reroll. Sanctifying now multiplies each modifier based on the current value instead of randomizing. Yep. Curious. Corruption. Sanctifying. I forget what sanctifying orbs did anyways. Omen of corruption can no longer be obtained. Wow. Rip Omen of corruption. That was really used a lot for guaranteed corrupt effect. Well, Val orbs in shambles, or more expensive than ever, I guess. Martial weapons and flasks, more likely to be highest base type at that level, good. The overall number of essence found in the campaign has been increased. The proportion of these being essences of the infinite have been significantly decreased. Yay, useful essences! The amount of armor. My item is at level 65, 3% more armor, teaming down to level 50. Okay, so campaign. So, like, early armor is buffed. Same with evasion. And energy shield is slightly better early on, but unchanged. So, yeah, they buffed armor and evasion, but not energy shield. Follow robe has less energy shield. And these are all going to be identifiable armor modifiers can be updated with Divine Orb. So the base stats upgraded. Sure. Base weapon range of some martial weapons. One-hand maces. Base range of 1.3. Okay, that's good. So they have the range of two-handed maces, and two-handed maces are even farther. Border staves are in between. That's good. Obliterator bow and artillery bow are slower. I forget what these even were, because I only use the blasting ones. Oh yeah, they haven't nerfed grenades yet here. Wait, they haven't nerfed grenades at all up there. What the hell? Grenades are still... what? Okay. Let's wait on it. Plasma mortifier for watching guardian bows, amplified chain, previously 30, so that's a buff. And you can make the Rage Talismans worse. That's a nerf. Bolt Fang got buffed. Breach Catalyst can now be salvaged. Return portion of cat. Oh, that's nice. Plus level of all melee skills. Ah, here we go. Yeah, the plus levels got nerfed. I should have... yeah, down to +5 at tier 1, +4 at tier 1, +4. So the +7s went to +5s, the +5s went to +4s, the +2s to +1. Plus level on all attack weapons will roll at level 18. Yeah, so plus gems got nerfed. Plus levels got nerfed, not as much as I expected. But hey. Perfect Essence of Battle. Oh, that's a huge nerf. I take it back. Yeah, so it went down from +5 to +3 and +2. Yeah, so Perfect Essence of Battle and two-handers is nerfed a lot. Essence of Hysteria. Oh, yeah, and Shield Recharge rate got nerfed, go figure. Plus level of all gems on attack weapons can only roll level 18. Yep. Body Runes got buffed. It looks like, except the Leech got, yeah, everything got buffed here. Mind Runes got buffed. Rebirth Runes. Looks like they got buffed too. Okay, so the Inspiration Runes got buffed. Stone runes buffed. Vision runes buffed. Yeah, I think all the basic runes got buffed, it looks like. Essence plus levels mega nerf. Runes buffed. Except for the greater rebirth runes, I guess. Rebirth runes got nerfed. Runes buffed, except yes, rechargeable. And then flat cold damage, flat lightning damage, and flat fire damage got changed. Weird. All idols can now be socketed into scepters. Yay! Restoration, and then they explain what they can do. Which I don't even want to read through all of this. I barely looked at it to begin with. Yeah, anything that did initial recharge rates nerfed, cast speed modifiers are no longer shared with foci summons. For example, these modifiers are at slightly higher levels. So the cast speed rings are nerfed. Interesting. Death screen modifiers. Squire is minimum level 8. Interesting. Curious. Death screen modifiers granting instant leech can no longer roll. Yep. So instant leech is legacy. Instant leech is legacy. Gladiatorial helm base name to cast its helm. Wonder why. Oh, yeah, because there was a gladiatorial helm and a gladiatorial helm. So that's actually a huge buff. Oswald no longer undercuts you for price titles, now offering you more money. Yay! Gold price of weapons for facing exchange increased by approximately %. Curious. Desecrated map mod of Union is no longer functional. Pulling strike threshold. Okay, so yeah. Alright, so TLDR, ES bad, everything else, plus levels bad, everything else is roughly the same. Monster changes. Calling strike threshold is now 35%, previously 30, sure. Launch leech starts at a later level and values are lower at every level. So leech is nerf, so leech resistance is not as bad. All monsters now have the same amount of leech resistance. Cool. Essence monster packs are now affected by modifiers to pack size. Oh, that's terrifying. As very spirits are released. Oh, and this change. You can have multiple rare monsters now, right? So will this actually change that? As very spirits are released from monsters, now retain their power and empower other spirits released from the monster. Sure. The beam from the priest of the sun will no longer ignore some walls. Wait, what? You will now refill some flask charges when Viper not points. These soldiers constrict the size for arena. Oh, hey, they made Viper easier. Monsters. Viper easier. Rip ruthless lovers. That's actually really nice though, because Viper was a hard fight and still is, so. The Burning Dead Ogden Village now deal a portion of damage as fire previously purely physical. I guess that just makes sense. Improve the visuals and telegraphing of the Lightning Doriani Elites monsters. Also nice, because I recall them being kind of hard to notice when they're attacking you. Quest changes. You can no longer enter Plunder's Point until you've turned all 4 map pieces in King's March. You could do that before. You'll now receive a Greater Mind Rune in the Halls of the Dead when interacting with only previously Lesser Mind Rune. Fair enough. You no longer need to visit the Holani Gates in order to access Trader's Passage if you were already freed Risu. Oh, that's good, because he had to go there and it was just like a pure cutscene thing. Alright. UI changes. Resize of pop-ups, that's nice. Keybind forward dodge roll. which will not cause player to sprint when held down. This keybind is unbound by default, must manually assign input options to which to use it. Okay, so you still have to dodge roll to sprint, but you don't have. But you can also you can have a dodge roll that doesn't cause you to sprint. That's nice. That's a good answer. That's like, hey, we still want you to dodge roll in order to sprint, but you can choose to dodge roll and not sprint. UI can dodge without sprinting button. Click to move. The skill used while moving will no longer earn up channel. It should. Okay, yeah. So flame breath and people are complaining about this. That click to move while channeling was getting broken up because of this. Improved visual clarity, load times, performance snap through world maps. Additionally, they've made them more accurately reflect the in-game directionality of area layouts. Nice. Will the bug where like the water drain actually show now? Let's find out. Skill information pop out, similar move, modified stat to the top panel. They're still shown in blue. Sure. The notification shows you when your items merchant shop is sold. Displays if it's sold differently. The reroll button, the ritual UI now pulses when you have free rerolls available. Sure. Powered minion. Stop the text minion display on the monster. Well, that's actually really nice. So you don't. So like the empowered minions are notable now. The augment stash tab has been updated now. It's 5 sections. Dang. Marking an enemy now shows the mark on their life bar. Max rage, rage loss per second now displayed in the character panel. Good. Oh, hey! Search limit increase, same as PB1. Copying item text, always copies to advanced description. Search will now match the advanced description format. You know, set favorite trades. Yay! Just like PB1. Now pin a tracking scroll on your social profile display. That's fun. Oh, that's like so you can do those MTXs they had, like show your pilfering ring or whatever. Now preview microtransaction weapon skins without needing the applicable weapon type equipped. Added a top-down camera view for editing your hideout. Oh, wait, why not in only on controller? Only on controller? Top-down hideout editing only on controller sob. Okay, controller rework there. Dark selection. Micro MTX changes, some new MTXs. Ooh, the assassin armor set's coming in. Assassin looks really good normally. Oh, these are some of the old ones. The like Shaper Guardian ones. Back attachments. Apollon, Empyrean. Empyrean's a good back attachment. Sun Prism's good too. Falling assisting MTXs, Black and White, Eerie Hood, sure. Enable all the remaining portrait frame MTXs for use in PoE2. Nice. Ordinary Engineer, Awakener's character effect MTXs, sure. Enable the Something Fishy Trap List and not the Bee's Chess, sure. Ooh, Anchor Drop is there. I love Anchor Drop. Alright, anyways. Yep, sure. Okay. Some MTXs. Bug fixes. So one thing I'm noticing is casts on crits not nerfed. Nani? Unless there's a bug there. Fix bug. Not always beautiful life when during elixirs. Okay, sure. Ritualist sacrifice. Into cooldown level 20 specifically. Okay. Fix a bug where pounce providing additional mark effect. Predator mark. I said pounce is nerfed. And Rush Archer for properly rotating, sure. Turn skills socket should have been prevented. Okay. I wonder what that was. Cause of our infertile invocation not interact correctly. Municipality not bypass last gas. Thunderstorms can be created out of bounds. Holopalm. Not providing bonuses. Holopalm now replaces unarmed base damage for effect attacks rather than damage on top of base unarmed damage. So, in other words, it was not worked for. So it's going to be super good next league, I think. Modifiers on our critical chance. Okay, sure. So they're fixing the unarmed, fixing world issues, projectiles, blight, other values. Okay, sure. Change the beam skills, quality. Please for benefits quality provided to comp were not functioning. Okay, power and lightning warp. We're able to devour corpses they shouldn't. Poison spores. Perfect vendor, sickness trade prices, sure. Okay, is there anything here that especially needs ice crystals? Weird damage calculations in some situations, okay. Unique on cast. Wrathfist was missing its unique on cast effect. Existing items won't be fixed by this unless you divine orb on them. Curious. Tactician's cannon's ready. We cause bonus attack when the player uses molten blast rolling magma. Okay, sure. Is there any like numerous bugs? Player's version Mary specific as Mary spirit possessions. I don't see anything here that's like particularly game changing. Poison critical hit. Okay. So I don't see too much in the bug fix section that looks too nerfy, so... Alright, so what do I think? I wrote a lot of notes. Okay, biggest hypes. Res swapping is back in the game thanks to the league mechanic, thank goodness. Metacrafting's in the game too, sure, that's cool. Res swapping is super nice though. Hell yeah. Deli bosses at 100% on a deli encounter is going to be interesting if they don't nerf it enough, but whatever. Probably getting Loreweave and grassing males in the game. Oh yeah, the portal, the Val Temple, the portal will actually portal you back into the temple, which is super nice. Recombinator's gone, which people were, I guess, might have been using at some point, but I know people were saying it wasn't good. So, oh well. You can zoom out on the map more, that's nice. Nothing new in the campaign replay that wasn't already shown before, but it looks good. Oh yeah, and the omens of like chaotic rarity and quantity and all of that got inverted, so they're going to be even more of a sink and probably more expensive as a result. But like they're all going to be used now, so that's interesting. The bleed nerf is really nice because there wasn't really ways to get rid of bleed early on. The leech nerf, we'll see. I don't. Hot take. The instant leech is totally is like one of those justified nerfs or whatever, but the one source of leech per resource thing still probably be okay for mana. It won't be okay for like. It won't be okay for life, but like it definitely I don't think it nerfs mana sustain too much on bosses, which is where you want it most, anyways. And for like enemies, like I don't know, cannibalism existed for normal packs, so I don't see this being that particularly awful for regular leech effects. It's just like the instant leech stuff is gone. Reviving enemies after beating co-op's nice. Oh, skipping dialogue by hitting escape is super nice instead of having to massively click. I'm not sure why Witch Hunter needed a nerf compared. Like the balance changes seem pretty minimal. Like cast on crit combat is still gonna be a thing, I'm pretty sure. The only thing is like energy shield is definitely hit hard, which is one of the reasons you would go so building defensively on those builds is going to be harder, really hard. I don't think this changes what I'm going to play. I'm going to go Spirit Hunters. So plus levels got nerfed, go figure. Honestly, that doesn't change really. That only just nerfs spellcasters. Well, I mean, it nerfs attack users too, but like you can get a lot of flat damage and percentile damage on other builds. I don't know. I don't think this changes how I'm going to play too much. I'm still going to play my silly spear user, but all of this seems pretty good.